What's up, everybody? Chewy Internet coming at you today. We got another Marvel Crisis Protocol video, and this time we're going to talk about my newfound love, the Wasp, and why I'm loving this character lately. And I've only played her maybe once or twice. With IRL, I've never been able to play much online lately, just busy schedule and all that stuff. But the one game I played her in, I'm starting to see the potential, and the more and more I continue to keep coming up with like little strategies with her and all that stuff, I'm finding some more stuff that I can do with her. And specifically, when I looked at her card, and here's the other thing too, like full disclosure, the only reason why I looked at this character again and Ant-Man as well is because of a card called Pim Particles. Pim Particles was a card I knew nothing about. I wish I could get the big screen here. There it is right there. Something I knew nothing about. This is a really phenomenal card. We're going to talk about why in a second. If you guys can't do me a favor, dislike the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. We'll have more MCB content coming up. We do have the extravaganza this weekend, so I'll be around, man. I'm going to be around a lot, so go ahead, do what you guys got to do. With that being said, so with the rotation that happened, a lot of cards got taken out, and the tactics cards changed a bit, right? So when I'm making a Brotherhood list now, right, the tactics cards completely changed. And, I have more space now to fit in a 9th or 10th card that maybe I've been thinking about and looking over. When that happened, I'm just sitting around searching. I was looking at Smash. I was looking at Mission. I was looking at all different kinds of cards. Like, what is my 9th or 10th card, right? And what can it do for me? And, I was in Discord, and shout outs to Sooner because he's the one that pointed this out. Because I haven't looked at this card. I don't even own, I've never owned Ant-Man and Wasp, and it has nothing to do with me thinking that the characters are good or bad or whatever the case may be. I'm just not an Ant-Man and Wasp fan. I've never been, never have been, never will be. Nothing personal. It's not a character that I like. So I never purchased the models, right? So I've never really sat down and looked at these cards and been like, okay, whatever. Sooner points out Pim Particles to me. And shout outs to him, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have looked at this card once or twice, because I don't own the characters. And I looked at it and I was like, this card's nuts, right? And you guys know me. Like my main team is obviously the Degenerate Brotherhood, as I like to call them. I'm kidding, by the way. I play Brotherhood. That's my main team. That's what I go to. That's the team I like the most. And I like to play Magneto-led Brotherhood the most as well. I like to chuck terrain around and just gain power and do all kinds of shenanigans. So this card here, check this out for a second. And this solves one of Magneto's issues deep into one of his turns, right? And what I mean by that is like, okay, so take a look at this. Ant-Man or Wasp may spend 2 power to play this card. Choose another allied character within 3 of this character, then choose an interactive terrain feature of size 3 or less within 3 of the chosen character. That character throws it medium. So what ends up happening with Magneto's turns is, especially now that Loki's around and he's relevant too, the cost of the throws increase by 1 every time you do it. So, one of the most annoying parts is, blocks happen, dice happen. When you start throwing stuff, you need to kill a model, and then blocks don't happen, or they brace for impact at an opportune time. From there, especially turn 1, right? You get a couple points, you get some damage. Maybe you daze a character, and then maybe you have a certain amount of power to throw at other characters, throw terrain at other characters, and whatever. And then maybe you just don't have enough. Maybe you have enough to do one big throw, and then the other throw costs too much because it's +1 after that. And if they brace for impact, that first one, it's like, oh crap, I can't throw anything else because I don't have the power to do anything else. I need to save the power for defense and all that stuff, right? So what this card enables is Magneto, what you could end up doing. Let's say you go through that entire situation, you daze a model, you don't have enough power to throw anything else, and you're like, damn it, I can't get this character. Well, this is where Pim Particles comes into play. And what this does is Wasp can then spend the 2 power, which she will have no problem. Be within 3 of Magneto. Magneto can then just go and chuck something for free. Not for free, but for her spending 3 power, right? And he could just get that extra throw that you couldn't get the first time. And it just works really well. And the other thing about Wasp is, too, on her normal side, she does have a terrain. She can also throw terrain as well. So she can have a turn effectively. If she has 5 power, which isn't hard to do with playing the Brotherhood leadership here, she could end up having 5 power and then, play the card, do her throw. She can also get multiple throws too. And that's really insane, right, to think about with this leadership. But that's not the only reason I took Wasp. I mean, this is the part of the reason. The other reason with Wasp is, and you guys got to pay attention. So there's been an increase in play in Toad, and there should be. He's a really good 2 threat. He's cheap. He's probably the best objective player in the game, right? Outside of maybe some 5 threats like, Amazing Spider-Man and Angela, they can just walk up, grab a center F extract, and then walk back and then be safe or whatever. Toad in this game can interact or pick up objectives within 2, which is a long distance, which keeps him pretty safe, right? There's some people that struggle sometimes depending on where they position Toad, that maybe they don't get a range 4 attack, or maybe they don't get a range 3 attack on him, and then it's tough. And then the other thing that he has too is slippery, right? One of the most annoying things that Toad does is slippery. Okay, and slippery, what that does is when he takes damage, and let's say he takes 2 points of damage, right? He goes and picks up the center FX rack. He takes 2 damage, and then from there, he could just slippery and get away and then make the objective basically almost on, like, you can't get to the objective. It's gone. Like, a medium move from this is like ridiculous. He can just go and get behind this, closer to this building, or like somewhere back here. And one of the other annoying things too is it's lifesaver too. That's another thing with Ghost Spider. Now, this doesn't solve the lifesaver thing. No. What this solves is getting to Toad early and keeping him there so he can't slippery. Okay? So we got that out of the way. So, why Toad is annoying or whatever. What Wasp does, take a look at her builder. It's a range 2 builder. It's an energy attack as well. After this attack is resolved, this character gains power equal to damage dealt. The target character does not gain power for the damage dealt. So what this does is it turns off slippery. Okay? And I've done this. So what you need to do here is, right now I've placed Toad to the max of 2, right? So maybe the more optimal position, let's just say he placed out to here or something like that. You can do something like this, and, you pick up the objective. What you could then do with your next turn is you can start this right now, or you can wait for Juggernaut to break something, give her a little bit more power, right? And that's probably the more optimal thing to do, is to go probably Juggernaut here, break the terrain feature, pick up an objective, give Wasp a power, give Magneto, and then give Juggernaut a power, and then you'll be okay. So then what that'll end up doing then is giving Wasp 2 power, right? So we'll break the terrain. Toad's picked up his thing. Juggernaut's did his thing, broke this size 3, whatever. And we're handing out power, right? So we're giving 1 to Magneto. We're giving 1 to Juggy. We're giving 1 to Wasp, which we already did. The reason why you want that extra power is, and right now Toad's already spent the 1 to pick up the objective, right? So Toad's on -1 power at this point in time. Okay? So then what you can end up doing, you can spend 1 to transform. Okay? Spend 1 to transform, put out the mini version of Wasp. Right? And there she goes. And then what you do is you move long. And she moves long on the small side, right? And the other cool thing about the small side is too, it's not just that. So what she could also do is she does have rerolls on defensive or dodge dice. So if anybody throws anything at her, if anybody attacks her, she can reroll her dice. She also has stealth, which means a lot of characters, at least turn 1, are going to have to move and shoot and extend a little bit more to get her. So you have there's a lot going on with her on her tiny side, okay? So let's go ahead and move up here with Wasp and place to the full extent of 1. You don't have to cut it short. Place to the full extent of 1. What you could then end up doing from here is placing Wasp out to here to the max. You don't have to go the full max, but I would recommend going the full max just to guarantee the 2. Look at how much range. You still have a little bit of room left, right? And this is Toad on the middle extract, grabbing that, being within 2. Now maybe Toad places somewhere out to here or something like that, whatever. But this is a situation where she places out to there. Even if they place out to here, Wasp can still get them, but you have to have Wasp in a position that's hovering Toad. So when they place Toad, that's where you're placing Wasp, and you're just basically following Toad and trying to stop him. Okay? So then what you do, just go ahead and do your attack, right? And, this is make-believe, right? I mean, dice are dice. Some things aren't going to happen, whatever. And you already paid your power. All you're looking for is a couple points of damage. You're not looking for much, okay? So you go ahead, do your 5 dice attack, right? Oh, my God, you roll some dice. You're going Wasp. You're feeling good. And this is a stupid roll here. You might kill Toad. Here we go. And also, Toad doesn't get cover as well. So Toad goes ahead and rolls his defense dice. Blocks 2. That's fine. Let's see if he gets the third block here. Doesn't. So blocks 2. You did 4 damage. You did 2. So this is a very good situation here for Wasp. Okay, so you gain your 2 power, right? Gain your 2 power. Toad takes 2 damage. Okay, just takes 2 damage. Okay. Here's what's awesome. Toad doesn't gain the power for that. So Toad can't slippery. Toad has to stay there, take that 2 points of damage, and just stays there. The other thing here is that now Toad does not have the power to brace for impact to throw. So now maybe this is not... let me reread this card again with choose an allied character. Okay, so that now you don't have that, right? Now your options are you can, move up Magneto twice if you want to. And get a throw something at Toad and take the objective off of him, or you can do other shit or whatever. But the point is that Toad stays there. He doesn't go away. That objective is still in play. Okay. You can just come up here, hey, move twice, boom, right? I mean, you already have a throw here, right? With a size 2. You can effectively throw this. Do pin particles on Magneto and move up again. Do pin particles again, if just in case you miss. Magneto used 1 throw, handed out power, and then Magneto could then go ahead and use another throw again because of pin particles, just in case the first throw doesn't get him, right? And you can go ahead and daze a Toad there without doing an attack, taking the objective, possibly putting it on Mags, which I would not recommend, but with the list that I chose here, going at 17, that's what we're living with right now. So, yeah, and the other thing too is that what you could do, what she's good for as well, a character like Blackhead. This is a recommendation someone gave to me today. She can chase down Blackhead as well and not feed her power and just harass her and continue to attack her. Because the thing about Blackhead is her power generation isn't the greatest outside of you giving her R&D and Magneto feeding her leadership or some other leaderships feeding her power. What Wasp ends up doing is turning that off. So you can freely just go in and attack her with the builder being in tiny form and just continue to attack her and try to daze or KO her, okay? And she won't gain any power and she can't pull off any of her shenanigans. So Wasp can easily harass 2 characters in this game. Right now, this is all dice dependent. Like, dice can go bad for you, whatever. That can also happen. You need dice to happen your way. But I would rather a character like Wasp do that to 2 characters that are really strong in this game, that are really good objective players, and deny them power that way. That's just my opinion. And the fact that Wasp can turn off Toad's slippery and not allow him to get away, that is huge. That keeps Toad right there. And if they don't have any other shenanigans to get Toad out of there, that objective could then end up being yours and putting the points in your favor at that point in time. You got to think about that. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. That's been my little spiel on Wasp. I haven't gone through every single scenario yet and doing this kind of play, but mostly what I've seen so far of wherever Toad plays within 2, Wasp can get there with transforming, then moving and getting there. You just have to understand where to place Wasp and know what to do, right? So wherever you see Toad, you place Wasp, you're good to go. And all that. And again, this isn't guaranteed anything, right? This is all, I had some good dice roll and go my way. But I would, like I said before, what I'm mentioning to you is that I would rather a character that can affect these characters in this way and whiffing on dice rather than having a character that, like for instance, Magneto. I would rather him not do the attacks and then do the damage and then Toad gets away. I'd rather Wasp do it and not have Toad get away and keep the objective there. I hope that makes sense. So that's it for me, guys. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. My love affair with Wasp is right now. I'm loving this character to the moon. I think she's got some play with Brotherhood. Brotherhood specifically, I don't know if this is going to work for other teams, right? I don't know if this is going to work for you, but, you know, if you want to try it and give it a shot and see how it goes for you, go for it. I like it in Brotherhood. She's going to stick with me for a little while, you know, until, you know, I get bored or whatever. If I don't think she's good, whatever, I'm going to stick with her, and figure it out and, you know, try to harass and annoy people with her is my intention. So that's it, guys. That's all I have. Thank you. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Dislike the video, comment down below. Give me your thoughts on this Wasp thing that I've been working on. Granted, I would love to go into an hour conversation, but I don't want to do that. So have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Remember, subscribe to the channel. Dislike the video. Mini extravaganza this week. You're going to see me a lot more. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Take care. I'll see you on the next one.